What's up, you guys? Godzilla Fan Freaks coming at you today with a little bit of a different video. Today, what we are going to be discussing is Mondo. So, why are we discussing Mondo today? Well, I just want to bring some things to people's attention that maybe they don't know about, maybe even bring this to Mondo's attention. If anybody knows somebody who works at Mondo, or somebody at Mondo comes across this video and hears me out and everything, because Mondo has been a mixed bag for many collectors for a while. I got into Mondo when they were releasing their Pulgasari figures back in, I think that was the end of 2020, beginning of 2021. That's when I found out about Mondo. And I knew about Pulgasari, and there has not been many Pulgasari figures out, to buy other than some very rare ones. So this was a good opportunity for myself to add Pulgasari to the collection. And so I was kind of hyped about it. And then that's when things started to go downhill. People were getting the smaller Pulgasaris in with paint rub, the horns were coming out of the sockets, or even the horns were solid breaks. It was no good. The big scale Pulgasari had issues with paint rub on the fingers. Some people were even getting theirs with their fingers broken. It was just no good. And now, of course, the Mondo 84 Godzillas have been arriving with their tails broken off in a place. Now, personally, all of mine have been fine. I believe that my horn was just out of socket on mine, so I glued it back in. I can't really recall, but, and I had some paint rub on this guy. No broken tail, though, so that's good. But shortly after getting into the Pulgasari line, I learned that from past Mondo customers, Mondo has always had an issue with their quality control. I don't know what's going on over there. I don't know what the dealio is. Let me check my camera really quick because I think I'm off kilter. I am not. Okay. My camera just looked a little sideways there, so I just wanted to make sure that everything looked fine, and it does. But, as far as a consumer, as a customer, a collector, and I'm interested in Mondo and even future products, I mean, guys, I spend money there. I only have 3 of their figures, but I have a ton of their records. Luckily, no QC issues with records so far. That's good. But I don't know how Mondo is addressing everything. Some people say that they've been able to get in contact with them. There's others that say their customer service is crap. It's like 50-50, and that makes it really scary as a collector to continue to want to buy things from Mondo, or if you yourself is interested as a collector, you're hesitant to want to pull the trigger with them. And, I have crapped on Mondo in the past, especially with their QC issues with the Pulgasaris, and we'll get into more on that in a minute. But I've given them some slack, I've apologized, but now, starting off 2023, first of the year, these guys are arriving with broken tails. People are not happy. There's still a 50-50 shot with the customer service and the feedback, and I don't know if they're fully replacing these figures or what they're doing to solve the problems, but Mondo goes beyond quality control issues. Mondo also has a problem on their site. It's gotten a little bit better over times, but a lot of people, again, in the kaiju community was when Mondo really hit it off with the Pulgasaris. A lot of us in the Godzilla collectors group, Collect All Monsters, etc., etc. All these people who are, G-Fest originals, this, that, we're getting into Mondo and now realizing that it kind of stinks because Mondo does such limited quantities of their figures that once they go up for sale, sometimes they sell out like that. And that could go for their figures, it could go for their records, it could go for their posters. And they do have a very limited quantity. I wish they would bump the numbers up just by a little bit, even if it's like an extra 100 units, because Mondo still seems to have an issue with maybe bots and scalpers, or I should say scalpers and their bots. And things just get bought up quickly. People will have stuff in their cart. You still hear it to this day. People will have stuff in their cart, doing the checkout process, putting in their information, or if they have their information in there already, they're still going as fast as they can, and then still it bumps them back to where it's sold out, and then they're not able to make the purchase, and then people are bummed. That's a problem with Mondo. They've gotten better over the years. They've limited people to only one or two of an item, depending on what the item is. And that's okay. That helps. But still, I don't know. I'm not a very techie person, but however scalpers and their bots work, I'm still sure that there's loopholes and cracks that they can seep through and get these things. And then you turn around and then you go to sites like eBay or whatnot, and then a lot of these figures or records or posters pop up for double, if not triple the price. And that is also no good, because as a company, as maybe somebody who works for Mondo, who's on the design of the records or the figures, whoever works with all this stuff hands-on, sure, you get paid at the end of the day regardless. But as an artist myself, I still, at the end of the day, really want my product to go to people who value it, not just somebody who's buying it just to flip it immediately. I want my stuff, whatever it is, to go to somebody who's going to care for it, who appreciates it. That's just me. Companies are companies at the end of the day. They care about they get paid, and that's pretty much it. Again, Mondo's addressed these issues over time. But even with the Pulgasari issues, I feel like it wasn't a slap in the face, but it was just so cut and dry. They literally posted an instruction pamphlet on here's what you can do to fix it. Just put some glue and boom, there you go. It was kind of just here's how you can fix it. Get out of our face. And I don't know. I didn't necessarily like that all too much. They acknowledged it, but still it was one of those things that for how much these figures are at the end of the day, even these smaller scale ones, which are under $100, but then when you go into shipping and everything, even standard shipping nowadays pushes these figures over $100. We should not be having these issues. Shipping. I want to get on to shipping now with Mondo. Shipping is another quality control issue that they're having. And their smaller figures, I can attest to when I got this guy and then when I got this guy. When I opened up their boxes, no joke, just some brown packing paper. That's it. They have the figure in the bag with the header card, and then they just have some brown paper, not even wrapped or anything. It's just kind of stuffed in there. And it's just brown wrapping paper. That's it. No bubble wrap, no air bubble pockets like Amazon uses and everything like that. And again, for how much we're paying for these figures, you would think that they would ship these things better. Because one of the reasons that these figures are showing up with the issues that they are is not only because of the cold weather. The cold weather can really make vinyl harden up, and all it has to do is someone to toss the box wrong or mistreat it in shipping or it bounce on the road and hit something or whatever, and then the vinyl breaks, it snaps under the cold weather. Yes, cold weather is an issue, but at the same time, if they were wrapping these things better and securing them better than with just brown wrapping paper, I feel like, people would give Mondo a little bit more slack. The fact that it's just in a box with some brown paper, it's this is what I paid over $10 for shipping for. Cool. You suck. And even with the big guy here, he wasn't packaged any better. Now, I don't know. Now, Mondo still has the big Pulgasari up for sale on their site. Those have not sold out yet. It's a little bit more pricey of a figure. And I think everybody who pretty much got one, who wanted one anyway. But when this guy came in, he came in his own box. He came in a shipper box. But then he was just laying free in a plastic shell. He had no twisty ties. He had no plastic or bubble wrap coverings for the feet or the head or the hands and the arms. He had nothing of the sort. He was just sitting in a plastic clear shell, no tie downs, no nothing. So in shipping, this guy was all over the place in the box, and that's why people were getting these fingers were actually tearing through his box and then rubbing on the outside of the cardboard of the shipper box. And then, of course, depending on how bad the bumps were, the fingers were breaking in transit. So that goes on to the shipping problems with Mondo. Again, their vinyl records, they're pretty flawless on. Again, I've never heard of anyone having an issue with them. I've never had an issue with the vinyl records. They ship them properly. There's never been any QC issues with the sound or the music itself or anything. The vinyl doesn't, it's not warped or anything in any way. So all that is really good. Again, the records, I'm really happy. And that's majority of what I collect from Mondo is records. I have a poster on pre-order, and there's a lot of figures that I'm looking forward to this year. But this is all I have as far as figures from them. And that is part of due issue because the figures do seem to have a lot more quality control issues, and it's a shame. Moving forward, again, Mondo has an awesome Space Godzilla sculpt lined up. They have awesome Masters of the Universe stuff coming out, which is another problem. Masters of the Universe Deluxe He-Man is beginning in people's hands from Mondo. And the torso, it's not broken, but it doesn't attach to the ball joint. And people are having, I don't know if people are able to send them back or if Mondo's not. Again, the customer service, it seems 50-50. Like people say that they're good. There's a handful of people that say that they're bad. There's no real majority towards something. It's a shot in the dark, and that as a collector, it is scary. It's very scary because again, these figures are, the smaller scale ones over 100, the larger scale ones, He-Man, Kaiju, whatever it may be, you're talking over $200, maybe even $300. You got people are sweating bullets over the Mondo Battle Cat right now because that was an over $500 figure. And then myself being a Panther fan, I'm really looking forward to Mondo's Panther coming out this year. But again, if it's going to be an over $500 figure and there is risk of issues in quality control, again, this is how Mondo is going to shoot themselves in the foot. This is how they are going to get people not interested in buying their stuff, current customers and possible future customers. It's just not going to fly. And people like myself, depending on how they continue to address stuff down the road, it's scary. And again, it's like, do I really feel like I can drop that much money and then have anxiety the whole damn time on if it's going to arrive fine and I get my money's worth? Is it going to be shipped properly? Is there going to be nothing breaking? Is there going to be joints having no issues? Whatever it may be, paint. Mondo was having these issues too before they got bought by Funko, and myself and others really weren't sure. It's like them being bought by Funko, it could make it better, it could make it worse, and so far it doesn't seem like anything's really changed. Again, Mondo was doing good there for a while, but bam, beginning of 2023, start of the year, not good. Not good. And there is a lot of collectors that are not happy. There's a lot of collectors that are not happy. There's a lot of collectors that have anxiety and stress right now due to dropping so much money on figures that are coming out soon. Again, You talk about the deluxe Masters of the Universe figures. Again, those are over 200, possibly close to even $300 mark, because I think some of them were like 275 bucks. So you tag on shipping to that, that's definitely hitting the $300 mark, close to it or over. I did not get any of those figures myself, so I don't have any of those estimates. But I'm looking forward to them re-releasing the Skeletor to go with the Panther. But again, you put both those figures together, that's close to like $1,000 investment. It has to be pristine. Otherwise, you know, Mondo is just, they're not going to do good. And it's like, you know, as much as you want to recommend a company for their products, whatever it may be, you know, Vinyl Records, again, here, Rebirth of Mothra, Godzilla vs. Destroya, Space Amoeba, Godzilla vs. Mechagodzilla 2, Masters of the Universe Revelations, Matango, as well as there's more vinyls to come that I have on pre-order. I got Rodan, GMK, Godzilla vs. Mothra 92, and they don't seem to be stopping anytime soon, you know, but, and again, I'm interested in their Space Godzilla lineup for the vinyl figures, and that's another thing. Mondo labels these things as soft vinyl, okay? They're not really soft, okay? I live in Tucson, Arizona, where it gets hot in the summer, and these things are still pretty solid. You know, soft vinyl, you don't expect it to, oh, it's squishy, but it has some give. Guys, I am squeezing that thing as hard as I can, and it has no give. Same thing, squeezing it as hard as I can, no give. That is also why these figures are breaking. Whatever vinyl they are using, I'm sorry, it's not soft vinyl. So that's, in a way, false advertising, false marketing. The Sunrise variant figure here was supposed to be a glowy figure. It doesn't glow. I've tried all different types of light, direct sunlight for a few hours, UV light for a few hours. I've tried all types of light. I can barely get a glow out of this figure. And then I come to find out a lot of other Mondo's glowy figures that have come out have the same issue. They don't glow. Again, very disappointing for somebody who wants to get one of these figures expecting it to glow. What if they have a glow-in-the-dark setup? And then boom, now there's just this dark gap somewhere. That is also false marketing, false advertising. Mondo, what are you guys doing over there? Seriously, fix the QC issues, fix the shipping issues, fix your figure issues. It's no good, you know. Also, fix the issue on your customer service being wonky. Again, you have a handful of people that's saying, oh yeah, no, it's fine. And then you got another handful of people saying, no, they suck. I have yet to hear back from them at all. You don't know, and the problem with that is you don't know what to believe. You don't know what to believe. You don't know if you want to get into something at issue or at risk of your money not being well spent. I don't want to crap on Mondo anymore. I don't. Again, they have, you know, great sculpts. Their future projects look great. Again, you even got the Godzilla premium large scale statues that are, again, over $500, $600 items. And it's, I have no words, you guys. Like, again, I hope that this reaches ears of Mondo to know from a valued collector. You know, again, I love your stuff. I do. But you're making it really hard for myself and even others to want to spend money on you guys. And again, that means that you guys are going to have possibly losses. Again, your products are probably only going to go to people who buy them to flip them for double, if not triple the price. It's no good. It is no good. So, Mondo, whatever is happening over there, you guys need to fix it pronto. And when I mean fix it, I don't mean just fix it for a couple months. Fix it completely. That's pretty much my little talk about Mondo. Fingers crossed that things do turn around. Again, I really want that Panther. I really want a Skeletor. But I want my money. I want the bang for my buck. I don't want there to be paint issues. I don't want there to be joint issues. I don't want there to be shipping issues, braking issues, whatever the QC issues may be. I and a lot of other collectors don't want them. We don't. Because when you do, you're paying over $100, over $200 for something, and then it has these problems. That's when you're really going to have a hard time putting out some fires. I can't imagine the people who are feeling the anxiety and stress for the Battle Cat, because again, that's an over $500 figure. I'm really nervous about how they're going to handle it, how it's going to be approached, if they're going to be checking these figures for issues before shipping them out, because then that's going to tell me how Panther is going to be. And again, not a lot of people, collectors, myself, other collectors included, can't afford to drop over $500 on a figure and then be disappointed, because then you feel like you wasted your money. I don't want to have to contact Mondo aimlessly with no response, or tell them, hey, I need a refund, or something. Me, I can fix certain figures, I can fix certain things. I do have that type of skill, and I know people locally who can help me with that. But at the same time, shouldn't have to do it for as much as these things are. And at most, I would just want to see people get refunded, if not for the whole figure, at least half of it or something, just to help. Because right now, these days, money's tight on a lot of people, even collectors who want to collect this stuff. I've had to pass on a lot of things, but there's some stuff out there that a lot of us collectors were saving up for. So we're going to be able to buy these things, but we just want our money's worth. And if we don't get that, I can tell you right now, I'm probably most likely going to demand a full refund, or at least half of a refund if they can't give me full. Because it's unacceptable to have these issues. Mondo, get yourselves together, get your screws tightened, let's go. Come on, you guys got so much lined up for this year that myself and others are so excited for, but you got a lot of people nervous. That's all I can tell you. Guys, we are Godzilla Fan Freaks. Please comment, like, and subscribe. Don't forget to atomic blast that notification bell. Don't forget to like and follow Godzilla Fan Freaks over on Facebook. And don't forget to follow Godzilla Fan Freaks on Instagram, as well as stay tuned to my weekly episodes that I stream every week live, Kaiju Chill O'Clock shows. Thank you guys so much. We are Godzilla Fan Freaks, and we'll see you in the next video. Thank you for watching.